Flosstube, welcome back. I'm Tina. I'm a 14 count Ada girl. If you too like stitching on 14 count Ada, continue watching. Thank you for all those who have come back to watch me week after week. We are up to 974 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We need to get to 1,000 because at 1,000, we're going to do a giveaway. So, and welcome if you're new. I hope you like what you see here and hit the like, subscribe, and comment and do all the things. I love interacting with everybody. Everybody sends me the greatest comments, and I always try to hit every one of you back with a reply. So, today we are doing WIPS. I touch every one of my WIPS. I have around 30, 28 to 30 WIPS usually going, and I touch every one of them once a month. So you will see my progress once a month, whether it's just 100 stitches. 100 is my minimum, or more. Sometimes I do more on them because I'm in the mood. So I'll just do the one, but for a couple days or something. But most of the time I try to stick to the 100 rule, so I get everything touched. And then by about the mid-month, 15th or so, I'm usually done touching everything for once a month. And then I do kind of whatever I want to do after that. So in this last week, I touched 15 projects. That's right. So this is going to be a little bit longer probably because there are 15 WIPs to show. But I don't have any FFOs. I don't have any finishes. So there won't be any of that. So we better just go ahead and get started on this. And if you want, you might want to grab a drink, grab a snack, because this one's probably going to be a little longer than I normally do, probably 45 minutes or so. I will try to go through it as quickly as I can without missing anything. This is Flosstube number 12. And if I didn't say, it is June the 12th. So how funny, June the 12th, and it's the 12th video. So, okay. Last week when I left you at Flosstube 11, after I left, I worked on Holiday Quaker by Leela Studios. And in case you have not seen this, this is what it looks like. Sorry for the glare. I am in an RV surrounded by windows. So that is what it looks like. I try to keep it up there long enough that everybody can get a chance to look at it. I know sometimes I go to look at something and they've already thrown it down and I have to rewind, and that gets kind of annoying. So I try to take that into consideration. This is where I am now. I just finished that gold angel right here. And so that's where we are on him. Him, her, it, whatever. So, and on that day, I did 124 stitches. So I was just finishing up the angel. I had half of it done. And so I just finished up the angel. The next project I worked on was Pink Rhapsody. If you've been with me anytime, you know it's actually called Blue Rhapsody. But I didn't want to do it in blue, so I did it in pink. And it is by Rosewood Manor, and this is what it looks like. Love this butterfly. It's coming out so good in pink. I just chose 2 different pinks to do this in. And the pinks that I am using are DMC 3350 and 962. Of course, I threw them on the floor. You can tell I don't edit. So these are the 2 pinks I'm using on my Blue Rhapsody, which is now what I call Pink Rhapsody. And this is where I am so far. Look at that butterfly. It looks so good in these 2 pink colors. So this is what we got. And on this day, I put in 147 stitches. Got to a good stopping point, and that's why that one went a little over 100. But sometimes you just got to get to a good place where it's good to end it. Okay, after that, Tuesday, I worked on Happy Stitching, and I did 110 stitches in this one. I believe I was putting in the word stitching from Happy Stitching. So the S and the T is all I put in this week. And this is a Sue Hills design. I will show it to you. This is a Sue Hills design. It's called Happy Stitching. The fabric is just a piece of DMC that I bought at Hobby Lobby. They don't name their fabric, but it's got all kind of real pretty colors in it. And it's obviously stamped. It's got white on the other side. But it was one of their newer fabrics, and I bought it. And I thought there'd be something I would want to stitch on it. And then when I had bought this, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I am stitching that in DMC. Let me tell you these again because I did not. Pink Rhapsody, I did tell you. I'm stitching that in DMC as well. It's just white Ada. Nothing special about it. 14 count, of course. The Holiday Quaker, I am doing on... This is called Mystic Gray. I got it from 123 Stitch, and there's a gloss on it. This is in the called for colors. So it's got some fancy flosses and some DMC. It was whatever was called for on the pattern. Okay. So next I did, on Tuesday, I did We the People by Erica Michaels. It's the preamble to Constitution. And I don't recall the fabric this is done on. I did do 101 stitches because it ended in 101, of course. A good stopping point did. And this is where we've gotten to. And that's going to be as big as it is. I did cut a bigger piece, but I will cut that off later when I'm ready to frame. So I'm a little more than half done with it now. And words go pretty quickly anyhow. I am doing this in DMCs. They did have a DMC conversion, and I'm just using the few DMCs that it called for. Cameron's on this side. And like I said, I don't recall the fabric. Didn't write it down at the time when I should have. Okay, so that is, oh wait, we got one more for Tuesday. Tuesday I worked on my shepherd from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is what I call the Peter Made Me Do It style, if you guys know what that is. It's a friend of mine that works at my LNS, Always in Stitches in Noblesville, Indiana. And he suggested that I do this because he loves sheep. And he suggested I do it on this fabric. And so I did. And so I'm calling this the Peter Made Me Do It style. And if you're from Always in Stitches and Peter has suggested anything to you and you're doing something because of his suggestion, hashtag it the Peter Made Me Do It style on Instagram. And this is where I've gotten on the Peter Made Me Do It style. This week we put in 130 stitches. I started his lovely coat down there. And that is being done in DMCs, which were called for. Okay. It did call for a couple of weeks dye works, but I just moved them over to DMCs. Most of the time I will use a DMC. There's a few that I've used fancy floss in, but most of the time I use DMC. Okay, then on Wednesday I worked on collecting shells. This is by Design Works, and this little girl, she reminds me of my little girls when they were little. This could be either one of them, totally. So cute. And there's still not much to see in this because I'm still way up here in the water, or no, way up here in the water. I'm seeing things backwards. So I did put in 153. Because if I was just to put in the 53, you were only going to see this little spotty piece. There's actually no stitches that go in all these blanks. I'm going to see how that works out. If I don't care for it, I may throw some white in there. So I put in that 100 block and these 53. so she doesn't look like much yet. She's getting there. She's just done on a white gridded Ada 14 count. And I'm using the kit flosses because she was a kit. I did not use the Ada she came with because she is full coverage. So I went ahead and pulled a piece of gridded Ada that I had in my stash. I got it from AliExpress. And that concludes Tuesday. So on that was Wednesday. Sorry, that was Wednesday. So Wednesday I also worked on the Sunflower Farms. And this is by I'm going to say it wrong. Kuri E. Batakuri. And I first saw this by watching the 911 Stitcher, Stacy. If you've watched her channel, she has this as a WIP, and I saw it, and I saw she had done the house. She had started down here, and my favorite color is yellow, so this was right up my alley. And when I got it, my husband got it for me for Valentine's Day off of 123 Stitch. It was on my wish list. And this little girl was so stinking cute, I had to get to her first. I didn't care what I had to do, but I had to get to her first. So I did her. She's so cute. So this week I worked on the honey that she's selling right next to her. And I did 148 stitches working on those two little honey pots right next to her. And that's all we have done of her so far. And she's such a joy to work on. I really love working on this project. Love the yellows. This is worked on a Bestitch Me fabric. It was a hot cocoa fabric of the month. I'm in the neutral club in Bestitch Me. I believe that was January's, if I recall correctly. And this is all being worked on DMC flosses. And then next on Wednesday, I worked on Teresa Kogut, Pet All the Dogs. This also has an option in there for Hug All the Cats. If you like cats rather than dogs, you don't have to have it say Pet All the Dogs. It'll say Hug All the Cats, and it turns all of these into cats. It has an alternate inside. So a lot of people didn't know that, so I'm trying to remember to mention that every time I show this. On Pet All the Dogs, I did 118 stitches. This is also done on that Mystic Gray fabric that the Holiday Quaker is done on. And this one's getting quite big. She is slated for a finish this year. And this is where we are. I was mostly working on that tree right there. So, here's hoping you can see it. Okay, you can. Good. But she's getting really pretty. I need to start working on the border, bring down the borders some more, and finish up this side, and then start working on the bottom. And then she will be done. So hopefully, well, for sure, she will be done by the end of the year. She has worked on whatever was called for. There was some fancy floss in here and a couple of pieces of Ada. I keep saying Ada. DMC. So that's on called for flosses. And of course, everything is 14 count. I don't think I have to keep saying that. Okay, hopefully my stack doesn't fall over. That concluded Wednesday. So Thursday, I worked on my spring Quaker. This I started at a retreat. My LNS had a retreat, and me and a friend of mine started this there. And I worked on this, and I got 200 stitches in it. Laura is also working on it from, oh, her name escapes me right now. It'll come to me in a second. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Laura. But she's doing it in different colors, and hers looks so much better. 'Cause it is in browns, and it doesn't look very springy. But I'm just giving Lila Studios the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in the brown. Stitching by the Shore, Laura, that's her name. So sorry, Laura. She's doing it in some really pretty spring colors. She has changed hers, and if I had seen that before I had started mine, I may have copied her, but I'd already had all of this done when she started, so I wasn't tearing all that out to change my colors. Maybe I'll change some colors as I go along, I don't know, but that's where I am currently. And there again, this is what it looks like. Got a lot of browns in it for spring, I thought. I mean, I think most people were thinking that. That's why Laura's changing hers. And hers looks fantabulous. Just gorgeous. And I am doing mine in DMCs. It is recommended in Classic Colorworks mostly. And some DMC. And I converted everything to a DMC. Oh, this is done on a fabric flare, 14 count. That's coming pretty true to color. It's almost a brown. It's right between a brown and a peachy color. And it is fabric flare, so it is a printed design. And I really love working on this fabric flare. It's a really great fabric to work on. It's not too stiff and it's not too soft. I have issues with too soft. I like to pull my thread pretty tough, and it can distort the Aida if it's a really soft Aida, so I have to take my time and go a little bit slower, you know. So okay, then on Thursday I also finished, well, didn't finish, I also worked on Laundry by Bobby G Designs. I'm working over here in this iron, lot of gray, lots and lots of gray. I am doing this on an ivory, 14 count. I'm using, I think it called for all DMCs anyhow. Pretty sure it did. Don't see the page, of course. But I need to put colors on it. I'm pretty sure it was all DMC anyhow. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And we're working on this. I'm working on this little iron over here. And you can see some of it has already been bag stitched. My daughter does my back stitching for me. She's back home in Indiana, so there won't be anything back stitched for a while. not big crazy about back stitch fan, so she doesn't mind doing it, and so she does it for me. Also, this is a 14 count ivory. It's just an ivory color. So that is Laundry. So that brings us to Friday. Friday I didn't do a whole lot of stitching. I stitched on my snowy owls. And that's what this is going to look like. I'm still up here in this area. This I got off of Etsy from Laser Arts Design. And I put in 200 stitches, so 2 squares. So these bottom 2 here were put in. And that's what we have so far. And this is what it looks like. So it's looking pretty true. Looks really good. I really like it. It's just done on a 14 count white Aida, which I am gritting myself with a water soluble pen, and I have tried the pen. It does come out with water, no problem. So that will bring us to Friday. Nope, that was Friday. I just said that. Saturday. Saturday I worked on I Like to Party, and like I said earlier, sometimes I stitch stuff and I just keep going because I'm enjoying the stitch. This one I stitched for 354 stitches. It got a little more than that 100 it was supposed to, but that's okay because I'm getting close to a finish on this one. I finished one of the sheep, and now I only have one sheep to go, and then she will be a finish. And this is what it looks like. I like to party, and by party I mean nap. Anybody who knows me knows I love to sleep. Sleeping is my thing. That and cross stitch, of course. We've got to have sleep to be able to cross stitch, right? And there again, I did not write down the fabric that this is on. It was one I bought at my O&S. And let me get it folded right. Oh, come on. Don't you hate that one? It just doesn't want to fold correctly for you. Okay. And this is what I got. I like to party, and by party I mean nap. I did this entire sheep. He's completely done except his back stitch. I have done just a little bit of back stitch here, but I will just let Courtney do it when I get home. There's one more sheep that goes right here, and then he is done. He, she, it, whatever. So that one is slated for finish, of course, this year. Hopefully in the next month or two. No reason it shouldn't be, right? Okay. That brings us to Sunday. And on Sunday, I stitched on Needlesmith. I am a needlesmith. Now this is one I have restarted. It is By the Bay Needle Art. I originally started this on a 16 count, and I know I don't like 16 count, and every time I pulled it out, that's when it was on the 16 count. I just dreaded it. I didn't like it. And so I restarted it on a 14 count. That's right. So here we go. And I was having a lot of fun with this. I was having trouble putting this away because I did this whole palm frond right here. And I'm loving it so much better on the 14 count. And like I say, if you don't like what you're stitching on, change it. Change whatever you have to change about it. If it's the fabric you're not liking, change it. I mean, I was quite a ways done on this one, and you know what? I just wasn't enjoying it, and I dreaded it every time I picked it up. So I was like, you know what? Just change it. It's your hobby. Be happy with your hobby. Do what you want to do. If 14 is what you want to do, do it. Don't care what anybody else stitches on. It doesn't matter. I have lots of friends who stitch on 36 and 40 and 45 and all those. And good for them. If that's what they like, that's what they like. I like 14. I'm a 14 count age girl, so just be happy with whatever it is you stitch on. Okay, that was Needlesmith. 2 more to go. Okay. I know a lot of you have been asking me about this one, and yes, it's here again. 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. She's also slated for a finish this year. And I just finished these guys right. Nope, wrong side. These guys right here. So now I am done from here up. I just got this one section down here to go. If you can see my fingers there, that section there. So she will be finished this year. She is also done on that Mystic Gray. If you can't tell, I really like it. I've done 3 projects on it. I bought a yard of it, so I had a lot of it. This one's kind of big. Let me see if I can get all of this in the photo. Oh, she's looking so good. Look at that. Look how beautiful. I love owls, in case you don't know this already. If you're a new viewer, owls are my favorite animal, except for my Siberian Husky who's sitting next to me. Oh, so pretty. This is a free pattern on owlforestembroidery.co.uk. I am doing this all in DMCs. And last but not least, we have Signpost Stitcher. This is by the Colorado Cross Stitcher. If you've not heard of her, her name is Sheri, and she has a cross stitch store called Colorado Cross Stitcher. I will be going there in 2 weeks. First week of July, I will be going to her store, and if she so allows me to, I will be doing a video of her store as well and seeing what she's got, because I visited her last year, but I didn't have a channel back then, so this year I will go, and she has a new place, so we'll get to see the new store. If anyone hasn't seen that yet, which I had not, I'm so excited. And this is one of her patterns that she did herself. and I saw it on the wall, and the display was so beautiful. I knew I just had to stitch it. And so I am working on that. I just finished this little bird right here, and I have like the word stitch, I think. Stitch and that bird and everything beyond it. I still have some things to do up in the border as well. This is also done on a fabric flare. And this is the color Nut. It's the same as that other fabric. If I didn't say that color was Nut. So, and that's where we are. There's that little bird. Everything looks really good on that. I did this in DMC as well. Okay, and that will finish us up for this week for WIPS. So for WIPS, from the 5th through the 11th, I did 2,400 stitches exactly. So not bad. I do count my stitches. I count them just basically by hand, and I just count them for my own fun. It's nothing to do with anybody or any kind of goals or anything. It's just something I do for me, just to see where I am. It's kind of fun. And next thing I was going to show were new starts and haul. So this is going to be a new start, which I believe I showed last week. Some people have already started it. There's a sale going around. I don't have a fabric for it. I'm wanting to get some vintage country mocha, and so when I go to the store, to Sheri's store next week, I will see if she's got some vintage country mocha in there or something really similar, and I will get that started. It is all kitted up other than fabric, so that will be a new start coming up. For those who watched last week, I had started the Dreaming of Roses series, and I'm not crazy about it. And you know what I say, when you're not crazy about it, don't do it. I didn't feel like anything looked like a rose on here. Wasn't real impressed with it. Okay, sorry about that. Phone had too much memory. So we'll have this little split there. I was doing the Dreaming of Roses. Didn't like it. This is how far I got. Just on a white 14 count Aida. Done in DMCs. Nothing on there looked like a yellow rose to me. I love yellow roses. So, I also owned the Dreaming of Tulips, which I bought before I bought the roses, but then I found out they had one called Roses, and I didn't take a good look at it, obviously. And I bought it, and I'm not crazy about it. And when you're not crazy about it, stitch something else. You're not going to like it, just stitch something out. Stitch something else. So, I'm going to pick out those stitches that I've done there. It's not that many, shouldn't take that long. And I'm going to do the Dreaming of Tulips. We are doing this as a sal on Crafts and Books. A few of us are doing the Dreaming of series, and some of us are doing sunflowers, some of us are doing tulips, and then I was doing roses, but now I'm going to join my friend Jenny. She's doing tulips, so I'm going to join her in tulips. They do look like tulips, much nicer than the roses in my opinion. I love Rosewood Manor. I love all of their patterns. I own a lot of their patterns. The roses one I just didn't care for as much. And so therefore I will change that. As for haul, the only haul I have is some fabric that I bought off Amazon. Now I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado currently. And I'm at an RV park, and they don't let you have mail here. So what I could do was I could order things off Amazon and send them to an Amazon drop box in town. So that's what I did. I picked up this blue. I just looked for a light blue Aida on Amazon, and I wanted a lot of it, so I got a yard of it. A pretty decent price, if I remember correctly, maybe $12 if I remember right. I got that to work on this project here. This is Tiny Modernist Christmas Village. This was a 4-part series. You got a piece every week, but I had already missed out on the whole stitch along on this. I don't know where I was during that. But anyway, I can do it all now. So, and I think this will look lovely. on that fabric. I think it'll look really good. So here we go. So that's going to be one of my new starts. And my fabric that I got from Amazon. And I'm doing those on DMCs. So there's that. My bags that I mentioned, I get off of Amazon as well. They are still not available. I don't know if they're going to become available. I check every week before I start a video just to see, and as soon as I know they're back, I will let everyone know. But as far as I know, they're not back yet. But I do keep checking. So, and that is the end of everything I have to show you today. So I would like to tell you that if you are a lady and you are over 40, get a mammogram. They're very important. They can save your life. They did mine. If you want to hear my story, it's back in Flosstube number 1. I will mention this every week, so I hope you don't get tired of hearing it. There are a lot of breast cancer survivors that do comment on my channel, and I love hearing from every one of you. And if you're going through breast cancer, or you know someone who's going through breast cancer and you want someone to talk to, I'm always available. And that is going to be it for this week. I love making this video. I love talking to everyone in all of my comments. So please make sure you do comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. Until next week, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.